Hi, I promised that I would take you on a woodland walk, and so that's where we are, in the woods where I live. Those of you who have been to stay with me on a retreat will know that, you'll know these woods really well. We come and spend lots of time here, getting out of the rush that we get stuck in our day-to-day lives, and just spending time in nature with trees, with the earth, with the sky, the birds, the bees, the bugs, and we really spend lots of time connecting in nature connection and some of the ancient shamanic rituals that are involved with that, and also practicing mindfulness. So that's what we're going to do together today, is practice a mindfulness technique that can help us shift our perspective. When we're anxious, we can tend to have tunnel vision and we fixate on one thing. Much of the time we find it hard to shift our perspective and to get new thoughts going in our mind. We tend to get ourselves stuck in one type of thought pattern. And actually, when we practice shifting our perspective, literally, it can also help to shift our perspective in our mind's eye as well. And that's something that we're going to do together today. So I've brought you to one of my favourite spots, and we're going to do this exercise together. So this is one of the spots I come to all the time, and we're going to do this together now. So the first thing we'll do is focus on the thing closest to us, and that's those twigs there right in front of us. We'll spend a few moments really focusing in on what's right in front of us, noticing the detail of those leaves, the sun coming through, and really exploring what's right in front of us there. All those little hairs and details on the leaves there. Noticing how the twigs move in the breeze. Taking a deep breath in and out. And the next thing we'll do is focus on that closest hedge line. Those little row of bushes just here. Focus on that hedgerow and see what you can notice over there. The gaps along the hedge, the way it changes colour, green and grey, brown. And allow your eyes to settle there in the middle distance, seeing what it feels like to look at something a little bit further away. Breathing in and out as you focus there. And then focusing far in the distance on the horizon. On the hilltops, seeing what you notice there. The bigger picture, a much wider perspective, and see what you can see. What shapes and colours. And feel what that expanded view feels like when you take into account the bigger picture. And then in a moment you'll bring your eyes back to that middle distance, and then close to those twigs right in the foreground. So obviously you've been doing that looking at a screen, so it's not going to have the same effect as it will when you do this outside. whether you go outside or whether you look out of a window and focus on the foreground, so the stuff that's really close to you, and then the middle ground, the middle distance, and then the big picture, the stuff that is furthest away from you. So when you're doing this exercise, make sure that you spend a couple of minutes focusing on each of those 3 points: the thing closest to you, the one in the middle distance, and the stuff that's further away in the big picture, and really spend some time noticing how it feels to literally change your perspective. When you're looking out into the big picture, it can feel like the anxiety dies down because we recognize that we're part of something bigger than our immediate circumstances. And especially if we spend some time just breathing there, noticing and remembering that we're part of something much bigger than what's going on in the immediate moment, it can really help to ground us and feel connected to each other, connected to the world around us in a more meaningful way. I find it really helpful if I'm feeling anxious or stressed, or even if I'm thinking about something over and over and over again, something's upset me, or a piece of work, or anything that I can become fixated on. It's like my whole world becomes really small and really, really close, and it can add to my anxiety and the stress that I feel. So I come outside or I look out of my window and I practice moving my perspective to the big picture, remembering that this is just one moment in time and it's a small part of my life as a whole. So I hope that idea is helpful for you to practice shifting your perspective literally with your environment around you, and noticing the effect that that has on shifting your perspective from your immediate circumstances to remembering your life as a whole big picture, and that what you're feeling right now is just a really small part of that will become part of the huge tapestry of your life overall. Okay, I hope that's been helpful and enjoyable, and let me know how it feels to shift your perspective. Bye for now.